Welcome to the City and Hackney Care Center Mindfulness course. Today, in session 1, we will be introducing mindfulness for beginners. In today's session, we are going to help you to learn exactly what mindfulness is, how it can help you in your caring role, and get you started practicing 4 basic exercises that you can use every day to help cultivate your own mindfulness practice. What is mindfulness, you might ask? Well, the former director of the Oxford Mindfulness Center defined mindfulness as knowing directly what is going on inside and outside ourselves moment by moment. It's all too easy to stop noticing the world around us. And it's also easy to lose touch with the way our bodies are feeling and to end up living in our heads, getting caught up in our thoughts without stopping to notice how those thoughts are driving our emotions and behaviors. So in simple terms then, mindfulness is the art of being aware in the face of whatever is happening in the present moment. And it's the practice of holding a sense of presence and non-judgment. An important part of mindfulness is reconnecting with our bodies and the sensations that they experience. So this means waking up to the sights, sounds, smells, and tastes of the present moment. Now, getting started with mindfulness doesn't require anything special. It doesn't require clothes, equipment. All it does is require you. It requires you to be able to dedicate a small period of time just to practice holding your sense of presence within the moment. Sounds easy, right? So how can mindfulness benefit carers? So the cultivation of mindfulness can help shift your thoughts away from your usual preoccupations towards an appreciation of the moment and the larger perspective on life. It's been found that practicing mindfulness can really bring improvements in attitudes, behaviors, and your overall health. Thinking of carers specifically, mindfulness can improve your general well-being. So it can support many attitudes that contribute to a satisfied life. Being mindful might make it easier for you to savor the pleasures in life as they occur, help you to become more fully engaged in activities, and perhaps create a greater capacity to deal with adverse events. By focusing on the here and now, many people who practice mindfulness find that they're less likely to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, and are less preoccupied with concerns about success and self-esteem, and are ultimately better able to form deep, lasting connections with others. It's also known to improve physical health. If greater well-being isn't enough of an incentive, some scientists have discovered that mindfulness techniques can help to improve physical health in a number of ways. It can relieve stress, help treat heart disease, lower your blood pressure, reduce pain, and improve sleep. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Lastly, it's known to improve mental health. So in recent years, many psychologists and psychotherapists have turned to mindfulness meditation as an important element in the treatment for a number of problems such as anxiety, depression, and managing conflict. So how does one start practicing mindfulness? Where do we get started? Mindfulness is a state of being that we're ideally looking to cultivate in our everyday life, whether it's doing the dishes or sending an email. However, to be able to be effective in doing this, a formal practice of some sort is often found to be useful. Now, this can look different for each individual and can include one or combination of meditations and mindful movements or mindful exercise such as yoga. Given that there are so many variations of mindfulness, I thought that it would be really useful to share with you the same 6 basic principles that tend to apply across the board. So the first is setting aside aside a time to practice. So ensuring you have a regular time that you dedicate to cultivating mindfulness can help to create a lasting habit, whether it's first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or right before bed. Just pick a time that's easy for you to stick to consistently. Get into a comfortable position. Simply find a quiet place in the house, or potentially in your office, or heck, even in a park bench. Whether you're sitting, standing, walking, or lying down, be sure to find a comfortable position, something that you can really let yourself relax into and feel free to sit there for 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time. So, number 3 is notice the inevitable distractions. Your mind will start to wander at some point during a meditation, and it's totally and completely natural, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Simply notice that when it drifts, try to redirect it backwards to whatever the meditation is on, free from judgments that might pop up as a result. 4, sensing the breath as best you can. As we will see in this session today, we'll be doing a lot of focusing our attention on the sensations of the breath within the body. Now, this can be one of the most challenging things for beginners, is being able to cultivate a good sense of the breath, being able to focus on this, using it as an anchor or a point of reference that you can try to return to whenever you notice, some of the inevitable distractions arising in our minds. So selecting an anchor point, as we already established, the mind will wander at some point, and it is totally natural. And it is helpful to set an anchor point, such as the place that you might feel the breath most easily in your body, to help guide yourself back when you notice the mind wandering. Lastly, bringing your attention back to the present. So every time you catch your mind wandering, simply bring your attention back to the present moment. Try not to judge yourself or to beat yourself up. It's not about sitting there with a clear mind. Mindfulness practice is noticing distractions and then gently returning to the anchor. Perfect. So now that we've gone through the basics of what mindfulness is and how it can be helpful for you as a carer, let's get started with our first exercise today, which is a 3-minute breathing space exercise. So this meditation, it's a mini meditation that can help to put you back in control of your life when you find yourself feeling like you're beginning to lose control or like life is beginning to slip between the fingers. One of the great ironies of mindful awareness is that it often seems to evaporate just when you need it the most, when you're becoming increasingly burned out. We tend to forget just how useful it can be for dealing with feelings of being overwhelmed by the world and its demands. When we're angry, it's often difficult to remember why to remain calm. And when anxious or stressed, we often feel far too rushed to squeeze in a 20-minute meditation. So this meditation is perfect for moments like this. And although it's short, this exercise has a big impact. First of all, it's a meditation that's used to punctuate the day, so you can use it more easily to maintain a compassionate and mindful stance to whatever comes your way. In essence, it dissolves negative thought patterns before they gain control over you. And secondly, we can use this as an emergency meditation that allows you to pause, to take a step back when you find your thoughts are threatening to spiral out of control. And by doing so, this will help you to regain a compassionate sense of perspective and to reground yourself in the present moment. So to begin, I'd like you to directly adopt an erect and dignified posture, whether you're sitting or standing. If possible, close your eyes or lower the gaze, resting on a spot in the room and letting your eyes soften. Then, bring your awareness to your inner experience and acknowledge it, asking it, what is my experience right now? What are the thoughts going through my mind? And as best you can, acknowledging any thoughts simply as mental events. Now become aware of any feelings that are present, turning towards any sense of discomfort or unpleasant feelings. Try to acknowledge them without making them any different to how you found them. And now bring awareness to any sensations in the body that are here right now. Take a few seconds to scan your body to see if you can pick up on any sensations of tightness or bracing. And acknowledge these sensations. And again, try not to change them in any way. Now, redirect your attention to a narrow spotlight on the physical sensations of your breath, moving close to the physical sensations of the breath in the abdomen, expanding as the breath comes in and falling back as the breath goes out. Follow the breath all the way in and all the way out. Use each breath as an opportunity to anchor yourself into the present. And if the mind wanders, as it does, gently escort the attention back to the breath. Now, expand the field of awareness around the breathing. So that includes a sense of the body as a whole, your posture and facial expressions, as if the whole body was breathing. Now, if you become aware of any sensations of discomfort, tension, feel free to bring your focus of attention right into the intensity by imagining that the breath could move into and around these sensations. By doing this, you're helping to explore the sensations, befriending them, rather than trying to change them in any way. And if and when they stop pulling for your attention, return to sitting, aware of the whole body, moment by moment. And when you feel ready, I invite you to begin to gently raise your gaze or open your eyes as we bring this exercise to a close. As you'll see, this was about 3 minutes we spent. Now, sometimes we might not have 3 minutes to dedicate to a meditation because life does get out of the way. Now, should this happen, there are 3 key bits of this exercise that I'd like you to remember. So, if time is tight, you can do this entire thing in under a minute. Now, the 3 steps are, first, becoming aware. So that is becoming aware of what your experience is right now. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? And what are your physical sensations? Step 2 is gathering and focusing your attention on your breath and using this as your anchor point into the present moment. And step 3 is then expanding your attention, expanding it to take into account your body as a whole. And should you notice any sensations of discomfort or tension, allowing the breath to move into these spaces and to explore these sensations and befriend them rather than trying to change them or push them away. Great. So our next meditation, it's a basic body scan exercise. And this will take about 8 minutes. So what I'd like you to do is to take a moment to settle into a comfortable position, finding a posture that allows you to feel relaxed but alert. For this exercise, you can be standing, sitting, or lying down. In this exercise, we're going to scan through the body. And what I'd like you to do is to just observe. Simply notice what you feel as you scan through the body, and doing so without judgment. See if you can tap into the physical sensations of the skin, muscles, and bones. Gently noticing any areas of tension and those areas that might feel more open and relaxed. Try to avoid judgment in this exercise. There is no right or wrong, good or bad with a body scan. You're just noticing what you can notice. Some areas you might find to be more difficult to tap into than others. You might also notice differences in sensations from side to side, and that too is perfectly fine. So to begin, as you've now settled into your comfortable position, I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll now begin to scan through the body, starting at your toes and your feet. Take note of any sensations that might be present. Noticing perhaps coldness in the toes. You might feel the weight of the heels as they dig into the floor or bed beneath you. Simply notice whatever is there for you right here and right now. gradually move up through the ankles and lower legs. Again, searching for any changes in temperature, any points of pressure you might notice, any feelings of tension within the muscles. Progress now through the knees and thighs. Then scan through the pelvis, the sit bones, and lower torso. Try to take note of any points of contact you might be experiencing between your body and the chair, floor, or bed that you're on right now. Slowly move up through the torso, rib cage, and spine. Observe the shoulders and shoulder blades. Now move down your arms through to the wrists and hands. Now scan through the neck, face, and skull. All too often, people hold stress and tension in the jaw, forehead, and around the eyes. If you notice yourself holding tension in these areas, see if you can relax them a little bit. See if you can explore what's present in those areas. Now, I'd like you to scan once more your whole body, starting at the feet and toes, scanning all the way up to the top of the head, and hold the entire body in your awareness for one final observation. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes, perhaps giving your fingers and toes a little wiggle as you bring yourself back to my voice. Our third meditation is going to be a gratitude meditation. Now, perhaps one of the most important benefits of a regular meditation practice is a heightened sense of gratitude. In fact, a lot of research has shown that both gratitude and mindfulness-based practices are associated with improvements in happiness and are also showed to cause reductions in stress, which is no doubt something all of us could benefit from. So, to begin, in this exercise, we are going to get you on the road to cultivating gratitude through 8 simple steps. So, to begin, take a moment to reflect on something small. Pick one simple thing to notice in this moment, whether it be internally or externally. Now, this could be the sight of a tree in the distance, the feeling of a warm cup of tea in your hand. Whatever it is, feel a sense of gratitude for this in your body. Next, reflect on a stranger. Now, this can be someone you don't know personally, but has had an impact on your life in some way. It could be your regular bus driver, perhaps a grocery delivery person, or the author of a book that you're reading. Again, I'd like you to invite a sense of gratitude towards this person. Next, reflect on the tools that you use. And by tools, I'm thinking of equipment that you use in your everyday life. This could be books, computers, your mobile phone, the kettle. Extend a sense of gratitude towards these items, these tools that help you to carry out your everyday tasks. Now, reflect on an acquaintance. This could be someone you work with or live with, perhaps a distant friend or a person that you have some regular contact with. Someone whose efforts directly support your experience of life. Let's take a moment to appreciate their contribution and say a silent thank you. Now, reflect on a loved one, someone who makes your heart sing. Think about what this person means to you and what it is you appreciate about them. Reflect on the impact that they've had on your life and notice any sensations that this might bring up in the body. Now, reflect on something that you're grateful for today, something that has made a difference to you. This might be the smile of a stranger, or someone's kind words or selfless act. Allow yourself to feel appreciation and gratitude for this. Now, reflect on something that has been challenging. If you feel comfortable to do so, bring to mind an experience that was somewhat challenging for you and appreciate how this learning may have served as an experience for you. And as we bring this exercise to a close, I'd like you to finish by reflecting on yourself, by bringing a sense of gratitude for your body, mind, and the simple fact of being alive at this moment. Our last exercise is known as mindful listening. Now I'd like to know, when was the last time you really listened to the sounds taking place around you? Most of the time, we are surrounded by a whole range of environmental noises, and most of them barely register in our awareness. Much like the noise inside our minds, external noises often go unnoticed. The noise in your mind and the noises in the world around you form a visible backdrop to your entire life. In this exercise, we're going to take the next 3 minutes to simply practice listening. So to start, I'd like you to settle into the body, getting into that comfortable position, bringing a gentle awareness to the sensations of your breath and your points of contact with the ground, floor, chair, or bed beneath you. Let sounds pass through you. Practice noticing the sounds around you without labeling or judging them. There's no need to try to make sense of these sounds. Simply allow them to happen. Try to let your thoughts too pass through you. And as they inevitably begin to arise, view them the same way you view the sounds occurring around you, letting them come and go without feeling a need to attach a label to them or to try to interpret them in any way. And when ready, begin to focus on the sound of my voice as you come back to the present and as we end today's mindfulness session. I'd like to thank all of you for coming and engaging with this session of mindfulness. And I hope that you're able to take forward some of these basic exercises into your day, week, and months ahead.